Hey track fans, good morning, and I'm not even going to start to shout this morning because everyone's asleep. So I'm up early as usual, cursed of having to get up so early on a Sunday, but it's natural. I think ever since I was in the army as a younger man, I've been scourged of having to get up for dawn raids, and then having twin boys who are now 17, incidentally, sleeping their butts off upstairs. I might go and play some death metal. That'll wake them up. Wake up! So I thought I'd check in, maybe do this a regular thing, because no one's getting up at the crack of dawn on a Sunday to be live on YouTube. So there you go, track fans covering it, breaking ground. So I got my coffee. We might have to take a break in a little bit. So I'll go and get another coffee. Hold on a second. Oh, hello. Travis. I can always rely on Travis to also have shit the bed. Sorry, we're live. To have got up early. Morning, Trav. How you doing, mate? So this is... bit of a novelty for me, bit of live action. Welcome, slot car fans, track fans, Scalextric fans, collectors, legends everywhere. So we're just having a hold on a second. Yep. Morning, Dave Fingers. How you doing? So look, we did the slot car festival a couple of weeks ago, which was fantastic. What's this, Travis? Off to the gym. Mate, I haven't even done my hair yet, and you're off to the gym. Legend. Oh, you're an hour ahead. Don't worry about it. So, yeah, morning, Dayfield. So if we start the slot car market, swap meet market, a couple of weeks back, I might have actually got rid of the flyer now. Yeah, I did. But anyway, you can see loads of, watch the last 3 episodes, you'll see loads and loads of flyers for the Milton Keynes swap meet. And it was amazing. If you didn't see the event coverage, get over there and have a look. We have no idea what Travis means when his undies are full. Have you got budgies in there? I'm saying nothing. I'm chucking this up here. This is gold. You guys carry on chatting amongst yourselves. I'm going to make a Sunday Session TV channel out of this. Brilliant. Oh, I tell you, I just saw the other day the new Slot It 962C livery. Oh, mate. I think I want me one of those. Has anyone seen that? Oh, that is nice. Anyone doesn't know what a Porsche 962 looks like, that's the Porsche 962 shell that I actually painted because broke my one. Where is the old one? There's the old one there. Broke the old one. That's the old one. The original one. Hang on. So as you can see, if you get a bit closer up, you can see the back there is knackered. Absolutely hammered. Amongst things. So then, being a legend, I bought the Fortuna one. Oh, this is really good. This is nice. This really works well. So you can see I've got my racing tab slapped on the bottom and a bit of tape on the bottom of that one as well. Right, hang on a second. I'm chatting away here. Yeah, that's right. That's what I did say. Live on telly. Who'd have thought it? Oh. Hey, I'm going to leave this comment up because it is about truth. So they're the two 962s that I had. I bought this one first, and then we were at a GT3 event. Me and Albert, we went down there last year to check it out, and we broke that one on the track. So I bought a white body kit, sprayed it up. We broke that. So I've got this one, the Fortuna one. Really nice bit of kit. Really, really like this car. Only because it's so fast. So yeah, and I've just seen the new 962 kit. That is awesome. Anyway, what's an O-ring kit when it's at home? Yeah, thanks for that, Dayfinger. Dayfinger. It's like Goldfinger, Dayfinger. Yeah, I reckon, John, those 962s are golden. I haven't really got the hang of being able to share my screen yet to see if I can find an image of one. So I'm not going to fall on my face and do that now. What I am going to do is bring you up to speed, though, with a couple of the models that I've been building. So we all know I've got the bridge. We all know we've done the bridge. So, and then as you saw in the last episode, I got my first things ever sent to me by Magnetic Racing. Legends. Ian, Doug, if you're watching this, if you're still watching this by now, thank you very much. So we did a deal, we made a purchase. I said I'll purchase the barrel house and then I'll review the doghouse. So we did a deal. So my lad has started to do the barrel, as you can see. So he's started to weigh in with that. He did a little bit about a week and a half ago, and he's binned it. Well, he's not binned it. He's just lost traction on it. I think some of the bits where he's sprayed. Let's show you his tricky bit. Yeah, this is it. So where he did a couple of bits red, he then went to do this bit brown. But what he's finding on there is you can see it just around here. He's got overbleed from the red. He's struggling to put the brown color. The red is coming through the bottom. So I've said to him, he needs to spray it white, maybe even go back to prime it white with a Halford's white primer. If you haven't seen Magnetic Racing's latest video, penultimate video, they talk about paint and how it performs. So I'm going to do a in detail video on how that paint looks when it does what they describe, because they described when you prime it, you get a whole load of, if you've gone a bit heavy handed, you'll get a whole layer of the stuff sort of bleeding towards the cracks. So as you got here, so you spray it, and then along this bit here or on the side, well, it will literally look like you've poured water on it. And that's where the paint is trying to escape down the relief, because water will go anywhere. So I said to him, take it back to base and then spray it the color you want, and that'll be a true kind of woody brown color. Hang on a second. I've got a deal going on here. There we go. NSCC, National Scalextric Collectors Club, pride of place mug. So whilst he's been doing the barrel house, a little bit slow on that one. Oh, hang on, I'm chopsing away here. Yeah. Let's have a look. Thanks, John. Color palette. Which color palette, dude? And Travis will come to that in a moment, definitely. So I've started work on the doghouse. Hang on. So I could do a video on it or a short or something when I've done it. Do you like that, Ian, Doug? I blocked out the password. So yeah. So I'm halfway. I reckon I'm about halfway through it. So as you can see, we've got two-tone metals metal colors because you don't want the whole thing to be the same. I've got my soffits and fascias on. I've got my cladding. You have the building. And then interestingly, this is the first building that I've built with theirs where you actually have, I want to get around, cladding that goes on the underside of the skin. And I didn't realize until I got to this stage of doing a door that actually it fits in there like perfectly. So you can just, I've scratched it. So you can put it in like that. And then on top of that, I've painted the detail as the wrong door. But you can see now he's got that. So I'll take that off, open the door, and we've got a through house. So that's where I'm up to with the doghouse. Yeah, Trav, we should do a magnetic racing build live. That would be awesome. I think if we're going to do that, we're going to have to do this one. Because otherwise, you and me, we're going to be sat here for about 9 hours in a day, and we'll have just about covered painting a door, my end, and painting the decoration bit to it, your end, or vice versa, because we'll be chatting about HO cars, BRMs, scale, 124. We'll be... No. Oh, my God, I nearly left the site then. Thank you, mate. I appreciate that. Yep. So that's what we're doing, and it's a case of, I think I'm getting to the detail now. When they said on the video, when we were talking to, well, it's the royal me, when I was talking to Travis, oh my God, when I was talking to Ian, I told you it was early. Where's that coffee? When I was talking to Ian, a magnetic racing, he was saying that the detail level on the doghouse was intense. So far it's been all right. It's but it's been a straightforward build. Now we're starting to get into the detail. What we've got coming up as well is we've got so I'm just sifting through the bits. So I saw it. Oh yeah, here it is. I'll just show you this one piece to give you an idea of the detail that's coming through. So we've got to build ventilation shafts. We've got to do grills for windows. We've got to do menus. I'm up for it. So I've got a good feeling I might be about at that stage next Sunday. So if you're up for it, I'll log back on and we'll actually get on some painting. All right, let's have a quick look. Stay Puff Marshmallow, man. You're showing your age, mate. That's it. What was it? I know the film. Just trying to think of the baddie. The Gozer. The Gozer. That's right. The Gozer. That's what you thought of the worst thing that you could think of. And the Stay Puff Marshmallow Man pops out. The Gozer. That's it. I'll tell you what's been a godsend, though. One thing for modelling is this. It's a Dremel machine. Well, it's not a Dremel machine. It's a cheap imitation of a Dremel machine because I'm tight and I can't afford to pay a name brand at the moment with me being with all the business stuff going on. But one thing I'm going to give you a live demo on, he says. I'm going to try and find a bit that I'm not going to lose if I pop it out here to show you the demo. Oh, yeah. Can everyone hear me okay? Just because I've not got my normal microphone on. I'm working on the laptop microphone. We got a sound check out there. Right then. So, as you just saw, I've just... Literally, you get the stuff like this and you pop it out like this. But where you pop it out, you're left with a little knobbly bit where obviously it's been held in place. So, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see them here. Yeah, you can. You can just about see this one and this one here. So that's no good because it's like a little raised profile. And when you're doing stuff with this sort of build, it's millimeter perfect, which is what I love because I've been working with architects, interior designers for many years, and a millimeter is a big deal. But the good thing about this, you get a nice floppy bit of sandpaper on the end, which comes with the kit. I'm going to hold this so I don't ruin it. And you literally, let's see if I can do this on camera. There you go. So you can just about make it out there where I've just shaved it down. It's perfectly flat. Hang on. So no, it sounds like a drone. So it's perfectly flat. And actually, this is a good talking point with these magnetic racing models. Yeah, Ghostbusters. You have where they've cut, you have a predominantly burnt edge. Oh, it's wonderful. Anyway, don't do that. It's carcinogenic. You could die early. I probably took 2 days off my life there, and another 2. I'm going to die happy. But when you paint, it's really, the paint doesn't stick to it because it's like really hard. And hi, Josephs. Really hard, and the paint, you need to prime it, you need to prime it, you need to paint it, you need to paint it. It's arduous. Where old school, bit of sandpaper, leading edge, just take it down a little bit, just a little rub like this, spoon, there you go. So you start to see, you can just make out 2 lighter lines and 1 darker line. The darker line was what it was. So that's good. And, you know, you can just get a little rub down like that. There. So now you can see that bit is clear. Further up, you're getting a 2-tone again. So you need a bit more work there. Yes, Dremel machine. I can't believe I've wasted so much time. So hang on, there you go, lifetime demo on this one. Possibly should wear a mask while doing this and just feeling these little bits of sandpaper. So there you go. So you got leads down, it's nice and nice and nice. And then just at the bottom where I've left a bit sort of half treated. But the reason that you sand these down is that when you get to the edge in the corner bit here, it's really difficult. You can see, get it right. Yeah, you can just see I've painted it, but even though I've sanded it and painted it, you can still notice there's a tonal difference. If I did another coat or 2 on there, it would almost absorb and disappear. So you can do it. Cheers, John. Thanks, mate, for the sound check. Nice one. And use an exact blade to trim it. I like a scalpel. If you're young at home, disclaimer. If you're young at home, seek an adult's help before you use scalpels, Dremel machines, glue, hot coffee. I mean, seriously, what is going on here? A bunch of snowflakes. Honestly. Cameron, if you're watching this, just ask your dad, Simon, for some help if you're going to use these sharp bits, mate. I know you got it covered, bruv, but just, it's always going to be a better tick in the box. If you're with your dad and you accidentally nick yourself, he's going to be able to stem the bleeding a lot quicker than you can on your own. So there you go. An X-Acto blade. I am going to shout naivety. What is an X-Acto blade? It's not a scalpel, is it? Oh man, that coffee's gone cold. So yeah, so next phase of this one is the doors. Actually, I think I'm going to stick them on now. There you go. I'm gonna put these on live. My God, we are modeling live, everyone. So this is the recommended glue. It's the gel version, the green top. Adam, if you're watching this from up at Rockingham Slot Car Club, Adam's not a fan of gel. Hold on. Adam is a fan of the super glue, not the gel. The gel is really good. The gel is really good for modeling because it doesn't run everywhere, as you'll see. Give this a shake. Yeah, I spent my life shaking glue and shaking paint. There you go. Right, that should be good. So, tip with glue: always do it where you're not likely to see it, on the inside. So, my plan is to glue here and here, and then put the door on top of it, and we'll see how it goes. I'll do this one so you can see what's happening. Just the slightest amount of glue you need, because I need to make sure I get the right where's my instructions? Sorry about this, guys. So we'll make sure I put the door on the right. I don't suppose it makes a blind bit of difference what side you put your door on, but I do want to be a bit more detailed with it. Right, okay, so and where have I put that glue? Put the glue on the back side. The back side is this one. So here we go. Make sure I got it right and round. Put that in there. Boosh. So now what you might see is I've got a bit of bleed of super glue on the inside of the door here. So you got a couple of options to get rid of that. You can get a bit of tissue. You can fold it. So you got to do it relatively quickly before the glue dries and it stayed there. So fold it up, get it into the crack, and take a swipe down. That's one way, my old mates. The other way is get some cotton wool buds or some cotton ended sticks, and again just roll it away. I'm going to use this like that. Just take that down. It might be useful, a second camera. I'll get a close-up of this stuff for you. So now I've taken the excess away, but I do want to hold it in position while it dries. It's a bit weird, like doing some commentary through the modelling. I can feel my fingers sticking to the back of it. Oh well. I'll go and get a shower in a bit. Like I said, I literally sat at Sunday morning sessions up with coffee, which is now a frappuccino. Okay, so that door is on. Here we go. Oh, I see. Right. Okay. So hang on. Here we go. Dave Finger said, use an X-Acto blade to trim it. And I said, what's an X-Acto blade? Because I don't know what it is, you know. And he said, this is the answer. It's a corner trim. Now, being from a ceramic tiling background, I know all about external, internal corner trims. Why didn't I think of this? That is, or even on buildings nowadays, a lot of corporates will put on their buildings metal corners to go down the edge to stop people reversing into it or skateboarding into it or whatever they might be into it. Okay, that's dry. That's dry. Oh, I thought I put the door on the wrong building. Oh, if you can't see what's going on here, I've got my instructions on the second screen up here. So as you can see, I thought for a second I put the wrong door on the wrong side. But actually I'm right, because the next door I've got, which says no entry on it, is for this side. So let's go ahead and put that in there now. Let's bring this back round here so we can have a look at what we're doing. I'll just lower this down. There you go. So sorry guys, I have to keep up with these questions. Yeah, Travis, just oh, you fucker. Okay, so this is one thing to look out for when you're modeling and when you're a rank amateur like me and you're talking live on YouTube while you're doing it. So I put the glue down here unsuspectingly, thinking it's out of the way, away from kids, and no, it has literally dropped a bit on there. So that, oh, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to keep that. I would normally have to sand that down, respray it so it looked good. But what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to turn that bit of glue into a thrown milkshake scenario. So we're in a doghouse fast food joint. You're going to get some milkshakes there, and better still, when I create this, I'm going to create a drive-through. I'm going to create someone going like this, and then that's going to be like milkshake. Get like a little wire with a cup flying through the air so that it stands up, and then like the milkshake running down here, so that I can camouflage my mistake. Yeah, where are you, John? It's getting late for him. Where are you, dude? Tick after 11 in the morning. That is late. That is proper late. I can see your pain. Yeah, Travis, that is a good point. What I like to do is I like to build the models perfect and then dirty them and weather them and beat them up a bit like they've been on track for a while. So, for instance, sorry for leaning over the camera, the recent one I've done here, the bridge, which we're all familiar with, amazing. It took me a little bit of time, but I went out and I bought a brush, because what I'd like to do is I'm going to practice on a bit of old MDF. Is I want to do some wear marks up the steps, so it makes it look like people have been trampling along it. That's what I want to do. So yeah, I get it. I get you, brother. I'll put that back up there. Whoa, Chicago. My good Lord. We are on here in Travis is in Austria. It is 8 o'clock. I'm in the UK. It is 10 past 7 a.m. Wow, that is early. But that's all right, because it gives us more time to chat slot car. Yes, it does. And we haven't even looked at slot car yet. We just, well, we have. We looked at the 962. Is anything rocking your world? There's been a lot of new releases in the last couple of months. Trav and I did the Scalextric launch at the start of January. That was pretty sick. And I'm running out of glue. Right, put glue on the shopping list for later. I really am running out of glue here. That's good. That was touch and go. I thought I'd run out of glue as I'd done one half of the door frame. That is totally not where you want to run out of glue. Okay, here we go. Just spread that glue out a little bit because I want it to have a massive bleed like it did the last time. Try and put it in the air so you can see this happening. Right, there we go. Just make sure I get the door the right way up. Okay, it is. The door is in. The door is in. Let's turn it over. Yep, we need to give it a little, just a little clean up on the outside here. Just a bit of this. Oh, completely hashed it. Well, I just found out which side was the stickier side. Okay, I'm going to revert back to using cotton wool buds because this is like pulling teeth. Oh, this is going to make a good milkshake stay. Actually, I'm going to put some other debris on this door as well. I'm going to blacken it up like it's had a firebomb thrown at it or something, because you can't go wrong with a bit of fire. Hey, Darren! Here he is. So it does. I was just in the middle of gluing something, man. And I've got it all over my fingers. All over the door. This is what happens when you model live on YouTube. Well done. We're going to have to do it every Sunday. Anyway, Daz, how you doing, mate? It was good to see comments the other day. It's always nice to be in touch. Are you going down to Gaydon? Travis is coming to Gaydon. So you got no excuse. Oh, hello. Hello. Not only is he pumping iron, but he's even like putting together his news feed as we speak. Right, I can't wait for that. What time, Travis? We've got people here in Chicago who are going to be asleep, so they need to be awake for that. What time are you doing it, mate? Loosely. Yeah, so, all right. Well, I'm going to come back to that door later. I've got a third door to do, which is the security door. Painted this one. Yeah, steel. This door is a steel, and that's not a thievery thing, just before you start, because you might know I grew up in the northwest of England. I don't know how well that's focusing. I'm working on quite a small viewfinder in front of me. I'm actually going to put that like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do this time, because I'm putting too much glue on and it's bleeding out of the door frame when I'm pushing it on the other side. So I'm going to use this to put the glue on, because I don't think you need that much glue, judging by how sticky my fingers are right now, because I'm gluing them all together. Brilliant, Darren. Can't wait to see you there, my man. So who's in Oregon? Is that you? Hang on. Where is Oregon? I know Chicago is on the west side. Oregon West. Right. Cheers, mate. So are you far away from Chicago then in Oregon? I mean, sorry to be so juvenile with my geography. I'm totally embarrassed. But it's always best to ask rather than assume that it's next to New York. No, I know New York's on the east side. I'm live on YouTube, honey. Okay. Say hello to the wifey, everyone.
Hi.
There she is. That was it. Who are you talking to, honey? The world, darling. The world. Right, where's that question from Darren? That is a great question, Darren. So I am doing both. I'm losing my mind with this glue, as you can probably tell. Where's the freaking... Oh, there it is. There's the lid. So for mass areas or areas where I want consistency, I'll definitely use Airbrush. So all of these side walls are airbrushed, but then as you notice, you've got the bricks. So they come in hand-to-hand combat on those with the paintbrush. The windowsills inside, because this building's clad, it's got a skin over the building itself. I literally just painted white area around the windowsill. It's pointless painting the whole thing white when you're going to stick something on it. Save your paint. You know, we've got... I don't know what it's like in over in the States. I don't know what it's like in Austria, but over here in the UK, and Darren will back me up. And I don't know if anyone else in the UK has snuck in. But cost of energy is eye-watering at the moment. Oh my God, it is like... So, yeah. So we're just thinking of ways that we can cut down costs, save money, economize, be more efficient, not just with energy, but with everything. So I think I found the perfect position, you know, just talking about the live stream, Sunday sessions, early bird. Obviously I've jumped on here. I've had no showering. I've done nothing. I've just jumped on here to do a bit of modeling before the family wake up, which they've just woken up. And this is hiding my hair nicely. I'm going to keep this position. Okay, so we're working on this door here now. So I'm going to revert back to the other super glue. I don't know how much I've got in here either. Should have enough. Okay, here we go. We're going to go in. I'll have a look at some questions in a minute. I don't really want to mess this up. So I'm going to concentrate. You can just picture it now. Travis is like in the middle of like rep number 4 out of 10, pumping some unheinous size iron. And he's like stopped to get a close up to see what's happening with the gluing on this one. So what I'm doing is I'm literally just gunning a bit onto the end of the cocktail stick, if you like. And I'm just just putting it down the edge of the inner door. Because seriously, this stuff is so strong, you will only need the smallest amount. Yes, there you go. Right. Yeah, that's cool. And that is in. So we're going to leave that upside down just to dry a little bit. Let's put a lid on this. Let's check out, see if we've got any questions. So what are we looking at? Let's have a little run through some of these. Patriot Hobbies are on site. So I hope that answers your question, Darren. Combo, both. And also you can use other materials, which I've just been having a look at on YouTube. Things like scrunching up a bit of paper, airbrush the scrunch, and then dab that onto something, and it gives you some wild texture. So if you're dealing with, like, if you're going to do like a diorama scene and you've got like a bunker and you're doing sort of some tanks and aircraft, and obviously this is a disused slot car track. So you've got all these things happening, then you can get the scrunch and you can put it on the tank and give it that kind of little bespoke camouflage feel. Because it's all about layering, texturing, highlighting. This stuff that I've learned whilst I've been doing this. Arkansas. Arkansas. I never know how to pronounce that. Nice to have you on board, Patriot Hobbies. I hope you guys are doing well over there. 1:13 a.m. on a Saturday night. Woo! You must be trolleyed, mate. What are you drinking right now? What we got here? We've got a little chat with Trav. Yeah, the wife and I are looking at Michigan or Montana. We like the idea of Montana because we like the mountainous regions. You got like itchy feet these days. As you might have guessed, I'm quite hyper. I need to be walked off all day. All right, I got here. Oh, hello. I think there could be potential of an East Coast swap meet set up here. We've got a few people from the East Coast. You should get, yeah, this is the early bird Sunday sessions, Travis. I think this is the thing. This is possibly the most consistent time that I know I'm not going to be working and no one else is going to be bothering me because they're all in bed sleeping while the wife's up. Mrs. Brown's just got up, so she'll be having a coffee, waking up, just chilling out, maybe watching an episode or two of something. And then it'll be time for me to go and become human, shower, change, time to walk the dog, go shopping. Boring! When we could be building dog houses, barrel houses, and a cheeky little surprise gift they sent me, the Marshall Post. So we've got the doors in. We're going to do the special features next. Boosh, I've pre-sprayed them. All right, let's see if we could do some zoom in here. I mean, no expense spared. If you're working in a confined space, like a basement or a bunker, then this bit of kit here is essential because what the bit of kit does is it filters all of the nasties that you're likely to breathe. So you get your air gun in there. I'll turn it on. It sounds like, yeah, listen to this. Honestly, sounds like my NSR slot car F1 test. It is proper loud. But yeah, so if you're going to deal with any kind of spraying, you must do it in an outside area. You must do it in an outside area where you've got ventilation, because I know we had banter a little while ago saying that, I've took 2 days off my life for sniffing the burnt wood. You're taking 10 days off your life for doing a couple of minutes in there with no protection. So at the bare minimum, he says, should wear a regular mask, just like just COVID mask, just to stop something going in there. If you've got the ability, get a proper full-on with the little cones on the side mask, or get one of these. They're about 50 quid, 50 pounds. Hang on, let me work that out in Aussie USD. Probably about $70. That is what you need. Paint-wise, what am I painting with? Well, I use a combination of 2 paints at the moment. So 2 brands of paint, because I'm new to it. So I'm still learning. If there's anyone out there who recommends different types of paint than the ones I'm about to share with you, or the few that I'm about to share with you, then let me know, because where is that blue? Because sharing's caring. Is that it? Yeah. So here are the paints that I've been using. And what I think of them. So first off, this was one of my test purchases. Don't know if you can see this. It's actually a Humbrol acrylic. Yeah, see this? Rubbish. Sorry, Humbrol. That is terrible paint. Terrible, terrible paint. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. So the next paint that I got after Humbrol, thinking, you know, I used to do Airfix models, and they're great. And with the Airfix models, you kind of got Humbrol paint because that's what was about at the time. Humbrol, that was what you had. Then after Humbrol, in comes Contender Tamiya. Tamiya, we all know it. That kind of lends itself to military vehicle painting and stuff like that. Really nice paint. That color there, oh, I nearly put it on the doghouse. I'd have been in the doghouse. That paint there translates to that car there. So you can see you can get a nice result with Tamiya paint. That's really good. It's quite expensive though. I can't remember how much it was, but I do remember it was expensive. Hang on, let me have a bit of frappe. What I use now is Vallejo. Vallejo, if you're an illiterate, a Vallejo, if you understand a slight bit of Latin, Spanish. So Vallejo paints, as you can see, they're on my wall here. Really nice paints. You can mix them really well. So this is going to be a bad example. I know that because I've let this been in here for a few days. But you can see I used it's actually these two. So I used these two on here. So the lighter tone on here is the color on the doghouse pretty much, with a little bit of grey mixed in, because the original building looks quite grey. I wanted to do something different. It looks quite grey. So that's the original color of that. And then I've mixed it with a dark brown, as you can see here, to create this kind of in-between color, which is what I used Darren to paint the bricks on the doghouse with. But what I like about this in particular, this bit of kit here, Cameron, if you're watching this, get this on your birthday list. You can't wait to Christmas for this. Get this on your birthday list, mate. It's a wet palette. So you basically, that's what it says on the tin. You put some water in it and it keeps the whole thing wet. So this has gone like this because it's a few days old, a couple of days old, but watch. See, it's kept its freshness. That's a couple of days old. Whereas before I was using traditional palette, within 5 minutes, hang on. Why am I shaking it? I don't need to shake it. I'm not doing a demo. So watch. So I'll put a couple of drops on like that, as you can see there, just to do, I don't know, yeah, a couple of drops on there, maybe to paint, you know, a guy's helmet or something. So that's all I need, a drop or two, because it goes really well. That will be dry in 5 minutes. That's a waste of paint. That is a waste of paint on a planet where we're trying to be more sustainable. So think sustainably. Wet palette. This particular wet palette is the Army Painter version. And the reason I went for this one, other than other ones, is because it's ready to go out of the box. So you buy it and it comes with, he says, it comes with, there it is. So I'm organised, I know where everything is. Comes with a spare sponge, which is the bit you put on it. Comes with a pack of papers, which you put on the sponge and allows you to keep the paint on there. And it is a really good bit of kit. Highly recommended. John, I don't know how to take that, said the vicar. But if you flake out, you know this is going to be on the live section of my YouTube channel later anyway, so you can always come back to it. Yeah, always come back, and just you can find out, you can remind yourself about things if you've forgotten about. Do we remember what color lid is the gel, is the glue? Green is gel, blue is glue. I like it, it rhymes. And let's have a look. Yeah, nice one. It's my wifey appreciation on here. What is the weather like over in the States at the moment? We've just had a day of snow. I tell you, I started my new job on Friday, and it was literally like a whiteout blizzard. And bear in mind, I've served in Norway when I was in the army, and I know what a whiteout blizzard is. It was proper. It was like something out of a Charles Dickens novel. It was that treacherous. So I've hauled myself over to my new job, got there for 9 o'clock. They're like, ah, incredible. So that one, what I'm saying is we had that was in the morning, 9 o'clock. I walked in there. It was a sheet whiteout. Lunchtime, I walked out of there to go and get a sandwich from the shop. Oh my gosh. The snow had gone, the sun was out, the floor was dry. I tell you, if I had said to somebody we had a blizzard style whiteout earlier, they'd have laughed me out of the place. But anyway, let's have a look. Yes, Paul, it is early. It is early o'clock, my friend. And this coffee seems to be kicking in. I'm down to the last bits, look. When the coffee finishes, I got a feeling the stream finishes. Right then. How you doing, Paulie? You all right up there, mate? What have we got here from Patriot? Awesome. D&D minis. I haven't played Dungeons and Dragons since the 80s. It'd be the only thing we would allow to stay up all night for. Yes, yes. I saw, who would have thought the YouTuber watches YouTube, but I saw a video on that Army Painter speed painting kit, and it looks pretty good. I've got, as usual round here, I got figures that come with the packs. And Ian and Doug, if you're just waking up and you're just switching on, I had a disaster here on my Marshall post. The 3D printing, right, is that detailed and that excellent. It's so fine. It's so fine. And what it transboiled to was there was actually a little flappy bit under here. And I trimmed it off, thinking it was a bit of excess, like on the edge here where you get it, where they're stuck into the thing and you have to sand it down, like I talked about earlier. I thought it was like that. Yeah, straight off with a scalpel. And yeah, now I'm going to have to do a bit of maintenance on that. So there's always figures going on, and speed painting for figures would be ace, because we've even got things like I can't remember what he's called. Goksu, that's it. Goksu. Can't call him Goxi. That's my brother-in-law's name. Yeah, no, Darren. Hey, what about it? Yeah, sun and the rain. And I tell you what, right? Come on, let's have it out. Who are the climate deniers? Who thinks that climate change isn't a thing? You're nuts. Because you can't have a blizzard and then 3 hours later, the whole thing is packed up, put in a box and gone away, and we're back into spring. It just doesn't work like that. When you're over a certain age, it just doesn't work like that. We need answers. We need firm answers. One of the things that, talking about firm answers, one of the things that that Mrs. Brown is constantly bemused by is space, and how we just hang here as this planet in the middle of nowhere with all these other things going on. There is no end. We don't know what's down there. It just blows our mind. I haven't got time to think like that. All I'm thinking of is, when am I gluing this bit onto the doghouse? That's what I come here to do. Oh yeah, Travis, right, wet palette. Where did I purchase this from? You're going to love this. It was really easy. I went to an online retailer. It begins with A and ends in Amazon. I don't know. I can't say who it is. It begins with A and ends in Maison. That's more like it. I'm sure you can work it out if you put it together. So, Darren, yes, great question. So, I used 2 airbrushes, and I follow a lady on YouTube. Let me get her channel up because I think it's quite a good thing to share. She is really good for model making and does a lot of content as well. Where is my history? Coloured history. Yes, here you go. Laia Mev. Hang on, I'll tell you what I'll do. So this lady, Laia Mev, YouTube figure painter, extraordinary. If you look for that lady on YouTube, she does some really good tips for you. And I watched one the other day, and she said she hit the nail on the head. She actually spoke about the airbrush that I use. So what I'll do is this is it. This is the one that I prefer. So it is PCS. That's the in the comments section. That's what brand of airbrush this is. I really like it because, unlike a lot of airbrushes, it's one size, and the size is 35 millimeters. Yeah, always wise to have a spare needle, because they do break. I always leave my end bit on. When you start watching around different spraying techniques and videos on YouTube, you tend to find that they take this little end bit off to expose the needle. I'll just put it on my forehead so you can see the needle. Yeah. I don't do that. Needles cost £30 and I break them for fun. So that stays on, and I've had the same needle for ages. So I use this one for big coverage, for wider areas. The smaller the number of the needle. So this is a 0.35. The other airbrush that I use is an Infinity CR Plus. From memory, this is a 2.1. I'll write what it is in here so you got a track of this. Infinity CR Plus. There you go. Yeah. And Infinity, right, you'll just notice, look at the size in the paint pots. There's a reason for that. Because this one, the bigger one, blasts. you know, this is giving you area, this is giving you coverage. Not to say when you go up close and in detail, you can get some really fine lines. But if you want to go Tara level, Tara and Steve are great friends of ours. They are never far away from arm's reach. So that's Tara and Steve. You can find them on Facebook under this handle. On Instagram, he is known as Skewer. Let's put this on here. So you got, and they paint like Inhumans. Honestly, they've come from outer space and been landed here to paint and make the rest of us look inferior, because they are literally gifted. So with the CR even, sorry, that's the CS, CR, so many initials. With the red one, it's like you're painting eyeballs. So you have to thin the airbrush paint out. You generally have to thin paint out to run through an airbrush for that fluidity, that consistent airflow and spray. When you do this one, the finer one, it literally, it's majority thinner, because it's so the slightest bit of chug that starts to block up and it becomes a nightmare. Lucas, my lad, is I know it's bad, right? Lucas, my lad, is having his first go on airbrushing, so he's running into all of the challenges and the issues that I had when I first started using an airbrush, which is always airflow. Now, what I've come to understand now is it's always good, before you even start a session on airflow, is to simply take the back off, whip out the pin. I just pulled the pin out the back there. And I don't know if you're going to get this. Yeah, you won't get this. But on here, I can already see. I'll put it in front of my jumper so you can see the pin. I can feel it. I'm just yeah. Watch this. You can see on my finger. He says. I don't know if you can see it anyway, but I've just gone like this, and I've pulled off a load of paint. So now what I do before I start is, it only takes me about 3 minutes, because I'm a black belt in stripping this thing down and putting it back together. I strip it down, I clean it, and I put it back together. And what it does is it allows me to not get frustrated and stressed out, and to actually be able to enjoy the thing I've come here to do, which is build some houses, build some buildings from at Magnetic Racing. In fact, let's change the banner. Oh, hello, look at that. We've got a new scroller along the bottom now. And then I'm able to crack straight into painting. One other tip that I would offer you, Darren, is that there is quite large, and we'll do an element, you know, we'll do a bit of painting. But if you've got a building, say, with 4 sides on it, or you're gonna do, you've got a race coming up and you're building, because it's always handy at slot car racing to have a spare body shell, a spare gear, a spare pinion, a spare set of tires, you know, spare stuff, which is pretty much why we will walk around with a massive box like this full of spare stuff. So if you're going to have spares, you're going to need more than one car. So if you're painting up more than one car, you know what's coming, don't you? That's not going to be enough. So you're going to run out. And then when you go and you try and mix it up again, it will not be the same color. It won't be the same color. You can't physically, unless you're a machine, mix the same ratio. Well, you can mix the same ratio and it'll look different. I don't know why it does that. I don't know why. So a good tip would be to invest into some mixing cups. So as you can see, this is the one from the doghouse. See? So I'd actually mixed up a full pot of paint, and then I've added it to my airbrush to spray it. Got 2 sides done, run out, no problem. Get the pot, empty the rest in, do the other 2 sides. The whole building is consistent. I know we're going to weather it up and we're going to beat it up a bit. But like I said, just getting the building to us, as you builder would hand it over to you, immaculate. And then we start to trash it down and add weathering and add rust and add whatever it may be. Or you're going to, like I say, if you're going to have a few cars or a few buildings and you're creating a kind of maybe a particular look. If you're recreating architecture, because I work in architecture, I work with buildings. This is what we do, work in a built environment, commercial property. You're going to have in your master plan, your town planning, you're going to have lots of similar and consistent kind of, it's going to be a theme. It's going to be a flow. So it's not like the Gherkin and then Buckingham Palace, because it's a super modern, ultra cool building with a timeless, century-old masterpiece. Just don't work together in the same scheme. So the scheme has to be balanced. So if you're doing a lot of painting, mix up a lot of paint. What I found with Vallejo is they give you these wonderful like pots which are 17 millimeters. That's all right. And in particular, I noticed this when you're dealing in white, you go through really quickly, same as this. So what they do is they do bigger tubs. See, it's the same paint, it's the same Vallejo steel, but you're just getting more. So then I can make, oh, perfect. Look at that. I can make it. There you go. It's mixed. So you're going to get the coverage that you need. You're going to get the consistency in the coverage that you need. So I was just working on some different reds, not saying anything about what's coming up. And I used this technique as well while I was doing the thin wall. So the thin wall special is coming along nicely. I've got the exhaust pipes painted, oily steel I use for those. I've got the engine buckles painted in chrome. The mirrors are in chrome. Hang on. The mirrors are in chrome. Should you use a pointer for this? The back of the control pit is, I think that was oily steel or steel. I can't remember which. But then I've got the decals on. So I've got to put decals on here, thin wall special. And I've got to put the windshield on. Well, I'm going to put the decals on here, thin wall special. Then I'm going to clear coat it, make it nice and shiny. Then I'm going to stick the driver in there. We already saw the driver. Where's the driver? Here's the driver. I'm going to stick him in there. And then put it on the body, which is here. Beautiful. Anyway, we will get the body on. There you go. Don't break. There you go. And that is going to be literally awesome. So I've got an eye. Well, Dave Farrow, you might remember him from the Milton Keynes swap meet. He's my colleague. He's my fellow slot car club member, colleague, whatever you want to call him, mate, pal, buddy, pal of mine. He's had a plan for an episode, so we're going to do it. Unfortunately, we were going to discuss it on Friday, just gone, at the club, but I didn't go to the club this week, just purely because of the first day of the new job, and I didn't get back until late because the trains were messed up with the little bit of snow we had, messed it up for the whole day, which meant I didn't get back until literally 5 minutes before I would have been picked up to go. So I just threw the towel in and said, hey, this week I'm out of here. So yeah, so let's have a quick check in and see. Yeah, absolutely, John. A little ball bearing is absolutely perfect in the cups. So what John's referring to, oh, the whole world is falling apart. Hold on, we've got a disaster. I need to clear up. That's what I need to do, tidy up my act. Where's that thing gone? Oh, there it is. Yes, so John, what John's saying in his question that you can see on the screen is when you have a mixing cup like this, I haven't got any here because they're all in the bottles, but you can buy little ball bearings. Just get ball bearings, just smash up. I'll tell you what the easiest one to do is, everyone's got one, an old skateboard or a set of roller skates in the garage or out front on the, thrown on the side, like willing to rust and rot forever until someone like you or me goes and clears it up. Go and smash up one of the gears. One of the bearing, some of the bearings in there. Smash that up. You get some free bearings. Clean them. Put them in here, one or two in here, and when you shake it, it bashes up all of the dry paint on the bottom and gives it a good thing. So I can show you what I mean by that. Have a look here. Yeah, so here. So we've got fluorescent red. And what you'll see is, if you can see it, at the bottom, it's heavily red. At the top, it's like clear liquid. So when you shake it up like this, it then all becomes really the same paint. With certain colors and pigmentations of paint, i.e. the type of material paint is, the colors that make the paint, it gets hard and firm and sticks together and layers along the bottom, a bit like a river sludge. So you need to shake it up. Now, if you've got, say, arthritis or sore wrists, or you broke them like me, I've broke both my wrists skateboarding and stuff in the past. Doing this forever really hurts. So you can buy tools that shake your paint for you. But like John said here on the screen, if you just pop the simplest ball bearing in here, you can just literally go like this and the ball bearing does the heavy lifting for you. Great tip, John. Thanks, mate, for sharing that. I really appreciate that. I would have missed that one. Good night, Dark Fingers. See you later, mate, if you're still there. Sorry, I missed you as you were saying goodbye. Damn, I've got to read this a little bit more often. So, what else can we have a look at? So, yeah. Oh, I think it's time. It's time to do some detailing. What shall I do there? Oh, yeah. So, thinking about this door, where, remember I said I'm going to do some milkshake, like someone's thrown a milkshake up against it. How are we going to do it? Well, the answer is I don't really know. So what I'm thinking, because it's all about really having a go, isn't it? It's all about playing around and just checking out if it works. No, messed it up royally. No, sand it down, do it again. No, sand it down, do it again. You got to be careful. The more you sand down the wood, the more you're taking away its structural strength. So I would say maybe one or two mistakes, then make it a feature rather than making it perfect. So with this, I don't want to sand it down because it goes over. You'll see here, it's got a little no entry sign. So what I would have liked to have done if I'd thought about it before waking up, coming downstairs and hitting live, I would have liked to have maybe painted that white, done the writing, then fixed it. But you know, if I'd done that, I would have wrecked it. So I'm going to retro do that later today. And how I'm going to do that is I've got to get that square back to white. Okay. I've got to get that back to white, because whatever you paint on a brown won't be the color you want. So if you put green on here, it's going to look blue. If you put red on here, it's going to look green. If you put white on here, it's going to be dull, almost grey. It's weird how it works. So what we need to do is we need to do a few coats, and patience is the thing. So as I was chatting to Ian at Magnetic Racing the other week, yeah, exactly, John. I'm hitting the comments as they're coming in now. It is part of the weathering imperfections. And that's something I want to look at working on, like I said, with the bridge moving forwards. So what I think I'll do with this is I'm going to paint the sign, the door sign, whitish, but I'm not going to be overly critical about being really white, because I think that it has that little bit of wear and fade from solar gain, where the sun's on something all day and the color starts to fade out. Have a look at the old swimming pool or trampoline or patio furniture that's in your back garden, that's at the back of your garden, that's been there for 10 years. It's faded. Same difference. So we have a couple of ways that we can do this. And yes, there's one way I'm going to do this. So I'm going to use masking tape for it, because it gives me clinical straight edges, gives me nice tight lines. And I'm possibly going to, you could freehand it. You could freehand it, of course. I mean, you got to be good to freehand it. I wouldn't even risk freehanding it. So all I'm doing here, what you can't see on the screen here, is I'm just cutting a little bit of masking tape with my scalpel. Another disclaimer, please, if you're younger, get some help from an adult. If you're going to use sharp, pointy things, just please help me out on that one. Just get some help. So I'm going to try and do is get it on straight. Let's get it on, shabbity bong, because that's what Sunday morning is about. Singing to oneself in the basement, working on models from Ian and Doug, and chatting to legends across the world. So plans for today. What is everyone up to? I'll tell you what I'm up to. I've got to walk a dog. I've got to go shopping. I'm only saying that because I've got no car now. When I left my old job when my last day on Thursday, I give back the car, the company car. The new job doesn't come with a company car. So I'm thinking I'm not going to get one, because I'm going to do my bit for the planet. I don't think I need one. I can bike ride to the train station, bike ride, train to work, bike ride at the other end, and repeat. Oh, mate, good night. Good night. Yes, and thank you. Yeah, I always forget this. Hit like, comment, and share, everyone. Like, comment, and share, because YouTube has gets really excited over that sort of stuff. I won't say what I was going to say. We might have some younger viewers on, and we don't want them to be influenced in a wrong way. Oh, too late. If you've been watching me for a while, too late, because there's no help for you yet. There's no help for you at all if you're into my videos. It just means that you're probably like me. I'm a little messed up. You know I'm messed up because I'm sitting here at 7:30 in the morning on a Sunday building 1 in 32 scale magnetic racing buildings, when about 20 years ago, I'd probably be on the M1 north or south at the moment, or M6, going to the next nightclub to play the next DJ set for another 1,000 people who are absolutely having the best night of their lives, thinking, you know, how can this possibly even be happening? But it is. So what I'm doing here is I've got the masking tape in place. So I've masked around the white thing. Now, what is quite important is that you actually make sure this is pressed down. This is pressed right down. Otherwise, you get what's called a bleed. And a bleed is where you have your tape. So let's have a look at that. Okay. So stick it on the back here. So if you've got your tape and you put it on there because you want to spray a straight line or something, you spray it up. Yeah, it's good. And then what you do is, because you had a little nick there, you had a little air bit. When you go to peel this off, the paint has got underneath the tape and you have what's called a bleed. And if you see here, try and get it in a good focus, you can see around here where I've had some bleeds underneath the tape on this spray job. This is my sight helmet, everyone. You can tell that I'm in construction and that I sell tiles. Who'd have thought it? It's a great talking point when you go on site. The old builders, what's that, mate? I can't wear that here. It's not regulation. Yes, it is. It's a spray job, dude. A bit like your dodgy spray tan. So, here we go. Right. Let's get that in the picture. Get me out of the picture. Get that in the picture. Have I got any white here mixed up? No, I haven't. So, ideally, you want to be shaking up your paints for about 30 to 40 seconds to really get the pigmentation going within, because all the pigments on the bottom. Paul, a live set on the wheels of steel behind me, brother. Oh, you can't see it. There they are. What do we want? Do we want trance? Do we want progressive house, funky house? Do we want a bit of drum and bass? A bit of old school hardcore? Some psychedelic trance? What do we want? So, oh yeah, I missed that. So I literally just dolloped a bit there. You can see it there in the corner. And I'm going in. Now, I could use an airbrush for this, but I'm not. I'm going to use a paintbrush from my paint puck. I'm going to use a slightly wider brush. This is a number, got paint on it, a number 1. My go-to brush for detail is it's a 2/0. And that is, no, that's not the one. Sorry, I'm telling you lies here. A 3/0. I don't know if you're going to be able to read this on screen. There you go. Yes, I've got it. A 3/0. That's a good brush. If you're in Northampton, Google the model shop on the Wellingborough Road. They sell these, and they sell them online as well. So if you want this brand, which is Expo Tools, then the model shop in Northampton will sell it to you. My mate's in there. They are really good guys, and you all know how I feel about supporting local business. Obviously, being a local business that didn't work, I'm all about trying to help other people to not have the same misfortune as I did, and you know, have good business. Mine was a good business. So, trick with painting: wet brush first, wet it any way you want, scrape off most of the wetness, paper towel, dab, quick dab, and then you're using your paint. So, you know, I'm not going to teach you to suck eggs and paint. You just put a bit of paint on your brush, not too much, or you're going to end up having to pull it around a bit. And then literally nice even strokes. This first coat is almost going to act like another primer, because we've sprayed it brown, we've inherently made it really dark. So we need to put a light coat on and try and make it relatively consistent, because if you've got big brush strokes in there, you are going to have big brush strokes as you layer on the next layers and layers. So I've just, as you can see, I've just stroked on a bit there. So I'm going to let that dry a little bit while I chat on some more like this Sunday morning mouthpiece that I am. I'm going to give that a little rinse. I should put this back here so you can see what's happening. There you go. Give that a clean. And wait for the next round. So there you go. So I'm going to wait for that to dry. With the airbrush, you could get an airbrush out and you could just give it a little blow like this and then paint it again. But we are in an energy crisis, so we're going to have to go old school. Might take a while. This is the fast version. You know, like when you got 5 minutes before you got to go out for a dinner or something. I'll get a second coat on. Maybe a third. That's not how to do it. Don't rush it. Just let it dry. Go and make a brew. Come back. Second coat. Like, who was saying it? Who was saying this the other day? Someone was saying the other day about these magnetic racing. It might have actually been Ian, about these buildings. Is you're into hobby. You bought a building to build for your slot car track or your train track or your layout track or whatever you are doing. Then what's the hurry? You know, take a moment, get it right. If you want to just put a building on your track, do what I did with Albert's building. Get an old shoebox, fold it over, spray it up, right track, and put it on there. So you got something while you're doing the building that you spent good money on. You know, whilst magnetic racing are really affordable, they're really, really affordable, and that opens it up. That opens it up for. So I thought my dog was running here, and that opens it up to a wider market to get younger people, older people. Because don't forget, not all old people are rich. Not all old people have a pension. There are old people in this country, in the UK, which I think is an absolute disgrace, that can't afford to heat their houses. It's heating or eating for them. It's an absolute travesty. Honestly, I can't believe it. Don't even get me started on the rights and wrongs of what's going on. So we get back to slot car building. Take your time. It's a hobby. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And you'll get the detail right. Once you start getting a bit like next level, you can really spend some time on it. I go through a relative pace. I don't, you know, I haven't even got a track up. So I'm building my buildings now for the summer when I can get a track together. If there are any slot car manufacturers out there who manufacture track, I'm after some track. So if you want me to do some reviews on some track, then let us know. Yeah, John. That's probably why we would get on famously. Yeah, Paul. Yeah, well, we want some deep house, some classic alternative and hardcore. Well, there we go. We'll get some deep house. Ooh, nice bit. Just thinking. I'm not gonna. I could probably do a set because I'm streaming on. I could do a set on here. Nah, because then people will start like going, "You're a DJ." I didn't know you DJ'd. We didn't. Then we go away from talking about slot cars. So, what are we looking at? Oh yeah. Okay, that's dry. Let's do another coat. I mean, this is fun. Wet that, scrape that off. Now a quick dab onto the paint. So what's everyone doing today? I've said I'm going shopping and walking the pooch. Anyone got anything exciting on? All right then. Tell you who I've been impressed with lately, if you're into other slot car videos, is old Marty over at Twin Wheels. Sorry, Twin Wheels. Two Lanes. I beg your pardon. Twin Wheels is actually a haulage company that imports and exports around the world. I used to use them when I imported ceramic tiles from Italy, Spain, and Portugal for my company. And great guys, lovely guys. If anyone needs haulage, Twin Wheels in, I think they're in Dagenham or Dartford. But yeah, if you need some haulage, some trucks, some vans, some delivery, they're good guys. Gary is your guy. I won't say his surname on air, but a guy in there called Gary is the guy to speak to. So if you're like Travis, if you're emigrating from Australia to Austria, which, you know, Travis, come on, hit me up. You got bored of writing Australia, so you wanted to shorten it and move to Austria. There was an easier way of doing it. You could have just wrote Oz. You didn't have to move to Austria to shorten out how you write Australia, but I love it. If you're like him and he's recently moved halfway across the planet, unfortunately, we didn't know each other when he was setting this up. But I would have helped him. I could have helped him out with that. So, morning, Colin. How you doing, mate? Hang on a second. Yeah, Paul. I think you've got an edge there. Then we should do a joint stream where Travis is bringing you some news and I'm in the back on the wheels of steel, the ones and twos, rinsing it out. So you got a bit of like background music going on. He's on the chat. Then we swap over. That could be quite good. Yes. Back in the 80s, pot pickers. We used to have a couple of DJs here, John, and some of the older variety in the audience would know, called Mark and Lard, Messingrimble. And they used to be like the epitome of the 70s and 80s DJ with all of the pot pickers and their, yes, terribly good pot pickers. And I'm just trying to think of some of their other classic hooks, but they were literally the epitome of the 80s DJ. Well, probably, possibly soon. Actually, it's on. Yeah, Two Lanes. Two Lines is good, but Colin, yeah, Travis, in his defence, has been all over me like a cheap suit for about a month to carry on from where we did the Scalextric live stream. But unfortunately, I've not been in the greatest place outside of YouTube. With work, it's been very difficult. Going through transition of going from working for yourself for 12 years to working for people is always going to be a challenge. I actually fit into that really nicely, but there was other aspects of the company that didn't work for me. So, you know, a lot of great guys in there, some not great guys. But, you know, I've always been for one, if you're not happy with your circumstance, change it. Don't walk around like a walking, moaning mouthpiece, bringing everybody else down with your energy vampire ways. Be happy, change your circumstance, move up. Life's not about finding yourself, it's about creating yourself. So if you find yourself not liking what you're doing, you can recreate a new direction for yourself. Sometimes it's really harder to do than it sounds, because you might have other factors like financial, or you might have other issues, but you can change. So I've not been in a really positively proactive place for the last sort of month to 6 weeks, because I've been concentrating on trying to dodge bullets in the workplace. So I decided to change my circumstance, because I was becoming excuse me kids, language warning, a right miserable bastard around the house and around my friend network. So I decided to change it, and I decided to get a new job. And what a difference. So now I'm back in a good place. I've got belief again. I've got hope. I've got doghouse. And Travis and I have always been in touch through this period, the last couple of months, because we are good friends. And he has been trying to get me online to do something. He's been saying, you know, mental health wise, Pete, this is going to sort you out, because it's good banter. It's releasing endorphins. It's doing what you love to do, which is slot car related stuff, but with slot car related people as well. So mental health is obviously a big buzzword along with sustainability. And I think that it's okay, you know, that saying, it's okay to not be okay. Well, when do you know you're okay, and when do you know you're not okay? Because if you're like me and you're the man of the house, the man, yeah, you know, and you're like of an old school nature, and you feel that you've got to provide, and you've got to do this, and you've got to do that. There's constant pressure, right? No, it's a load of baloney. It is pressure. It is. But I can assure you, if you're in a rut at the moment, you know, go on Instagram, find me, Track Fans TV, and send me a DM. I'll talk to you. I'll help you with what I've done to get around different parts of my life that have been problematic. Travis is the same. Dave Kennedy is the same. Booney's the same. Marty's the same. John Sodden's the same. Most of us are the same. Where was we come across positive, proactive, happy, nuts, bonkers, whatever your style is? We've all got issues going on. Everyone's human. You just got to get on with it. So mixing used to be in the DJing thing, used to be my tonic. Still is my tonic, but I can't string 2 records together now without being interrupted by my family. So that causes me to be more stressed out. So now I do modeling, because I can talk to them, as you heard before, while they come in. It's brilliant. Right, what's this? Grandson of man. Hello, mate. 12 a.m. in Vegas. Oh, I'd love to go to Vegas. I don't trust myself there. I'd never get out. Yeah, my mental health would take a beating there. So yeah, so to answer your question, Colin, Trav and I are going to do something soon. He's currently pumping iron down the gym at the moment, whereas I'm outside smoking fags and drinking coffee and chatting on YouTube in my basement. We have a completely polar opposite outlook on health. I jest. I'm relatively fit and healthy. But he does crack me up with Trav. So what's it? 12 a.m. in Vegas. Are you just about to go out for the night, or are you just coming in for the night? I never know with Vegas. If you was in Ibiza, you'd just be going. In fact, you wouldn't even be going out yet. You'd be getting ready to go out at 12 a.m. That is a place. I've just thought we digressed a little bit. Oh, it's just dry. We can do another coat. Do that. Scrape off the water residue. A couple of dabs. What I was going to say was, I've mentioned before, we've done the masking tape version of gridding this out so that we can so that we don't go over the outline. That's it. So we don't bleed the outline. We're just painting the sign. So we used masking tape, which, to be honest with you, is the go-to tool. Masking tape is brilliant for a number of reasons. You can get different grades, you get different widths of masking tape. So if you're doing something, you can get it so it's like this thick. It's really good. And you can like block out literally the whole side of the house while you're doing it. What the other thing you can use is, and I got this for Christmas, is it's called plastic putty. And this is quite good stuff. And it literally is what it says on the tin. You get it out and you get a bit out, he says. There you go. Right. Don't want to put this in front of my black jumper. You're seeing nothing. So you just literally have, and it's putty. And then what you can do is you warm it up a little bit. And then, because masking tape's all right for straight lines, but if you wanted to do something slightly different, actually, great example, like a circle, then you've got the ability to do it. I'm just going to show you the example in a second once I've created it. So it doesn't matter how you arrive at the shape or the size or whatever you're doing. You know, generally when I was in the army, we'd have a rule which said, actually, we didn't say it. Clint Eastwood said it. Clint Eastwood in Heartbreak Ridge said it. Does anyone know the saying you're going to use? You got to adapt and overcome. That's what you got to do. You got to adapt and overcome. Sweet! If you've watched Heartbreak Ridge, you'll know what I'm on about. Whereas the masking tape will give you a straight line, if you wanted to do a circular or something a little bit more curvy, then this really is a good bit of kit. It's called camouflage plastic putty, and it just gives you the ability to do whatever shape you want, or like it says on the tin, you can stretch it around your vehicle like this, and you can create, you know, spray over it, peel it off, put some more another way, spray a different color, and you got camouflage. This this car here, I love it. Oh, but love it, Rovers. This is a gift to me by Mac, and he's on Instagram, and he's a great guy. He's, where's my phone? I'm going to tell you what his Instagram site is. Yeah, I love that film as well, John. Honestly, anyone that comes out with sayings like, he walks in, we're talking about Heartbreak Ridge here, by the way, which is a Clint Eastwood movie from way back whenever. The mother of all sayings in there. He walks into the dormitories at like, I don't know, 4 a.m. and they're all asleep and they're all lazy recruits at this time, proper fat and lazy. And they're all like, bleh, bleh. And he walks in there, like, boots the door off. He's like, wakey, wakey, get up, drop your, he goes, he's what I'm saying. What's he going? He goes, wake up, drop your cocks and grab your socks, man. We're going to war. Genius. But shout out to my friend here on Instagram called Mac. And I'm going to make sure I get his address right. Yeah, here we go. He's going to wonder why he's got a load of followers now, isn't he? So, Instagram. This guy, he's a slot car collector. And every now and again, when he's got the time, he posts up different angles of all of his slot cars and stuff. And I tell you what, he's got some nice stuff. You just forget that the stuff is out there until you see it again and he's there. What we got here? Darren. Oh, do you know what? RC Boats. You would love a friend of the channel called Adrian. I don't know if you're watching this, Aid, but Adrian's just picked up an RC boat from his grandparents. It's like a chugger. It is amazing. Well, Darren, welcome home. New hobby is yours. You can either do it on your own or do it in a collective like the rest of us. So really, it's your call. So I'm going to give a little another coat to this. So how many coats it takes. Because I'm going dark, light on dark, another tip would be, as you're spraying that door, when you've primed it and it's white, put the tape over the sign, then paint it brown. Then when you take the tape off, you've got the white base coat. Then you paint white on white, and it's 2-coat job, not a 4 or 5 coat job to try and bring up that level of consistency with the white, so you're not getting as much transparency coming through. The other way you could speed that process up of making this 2 coats rather than 4 or 5 is to use what's called an opaque paint. So I'm going to write that in here as well. Are you 50 last year, Darren? Get in there. And Adrian is a legend. Right, what was I doing here? What was I going to type in here? What was I going to type in there? I've literally just lost my train of thought. Yeah, so Darren, so I'm kind of like learning how to race. I'm not very good at it. Actually, I'm going to leave that out. So modelling is a pacifying way of doing something when not able to race, or if I've just been beaten badly again in Rockingham. They are so good up there, but I don't complain, even though I'm last every time, every week, week in, week out. What I got to remind myself is that out of the regular, say, because we touch between 10 and 15 people a week in the club, out of those 10 people that on average always go, 6 of them are in the top 10 in the country on the race circuit. So, you know, I understand why I'm getting my ass handed to me on a plate. But what it does do, and this is something that you should always try and aspire to do, is always train if you're into fitness or running or driving or even playing darts, or you should always try to aspire to train with somebody who is better, faster, fitter, or bigger than you, because you're pushing yourself to hit a limit, to keep up. You're working harder than if you were training with somebody who wasn't as active, fit, experienced, big. You'll find yourself slowing down to help them keep up. Whereas really, you need to be pushing yourself all the time. If you're going to go big or go home, do it or don't do it. You know, well, the only thing I say with that is alcohol. Be moderate with alcohol. Don't go big or go home, because you're going to be puking up all morning the following day. So, yeah, the layout and the scenery building is good, mate. It is good, and it gives it's like now. It's like I'm up. No one else is. So what do? You know, I'm bored of TV. It bores me. What am I getting out? I'm getting nothing. I'm just sitting there watching telly. If anything, I like to watch YouTube because I'm actually learning something, or I'm active. I'm applied, you know, I'm applied myself. What else is there to do on a Sunday morning? Too early to drink. It's not lockdown anymore. That's it, you know. So I think we should do this more often. But on that note, guys, I do realise, chatting away nicely, I do need the toilet and another coffee. Building a fence, a catch fence. What's a catch fence? Oh yeah, I tell you, kids are inconvenient, aren't they? Kids are really inconvenient, because what you find, right, is you're having a conversation, you're trying to have a serious conversation, maybe about energy bills or council tax or the behaviour of a child, because we've got twins, one of our kids in college or something, and you're trying to have a conversation, and then from somewhere around the corner goes, oh yeah, I think this about that, and you're like, what are you talking about? I'm trying to have a conversation here. Or you're talking to me, blah 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 blah. You're in that track of conversation, aren't you? And then someone comes in, the kid comes in from the side, like a velociraptor, and goes, "Oh, what's that about?" And you're like, "Do I explain it to him, or do I say no? We're in a conversation. You don't just butt in and try and, you know, bring it to its knees." Kids are inconvenient when you're trying to converse with the missus. So I'm away soon. Just the wife and I, for a nice week away. We're going away, and I can't wait to just be able to chat, not be interrupted, not have to explain what it is, just converse and get on with it. It's going to be brilliant. So yeah, so no, I get it totally. No, that sounds like a good day you've got ahead. Collins. Oh, right, cool. Do you know, I read that wrong, Colin. I see that you've just finished your Reims Marshall Huts from Magnetic Racing. I thought you did the scoreboard. If anyone doesn't know who they are, Magnetic Racing, they're on YouTube. It's called Thinking Scalextric and Magnetic Racing. Just type in Magnetic Racing, it comes up. They do, on their latest episode, you do realise I've got to check this now. Hang on. Yes. So on their latest video, they've done the Reims, I'm probably saying that wrong, leaderboard, i.e. the scoreboard. I doubt they watched this far. I doubt they would watch this and watch this live stream into this far. But, you know, once I've got rid of the doghouse and the Marshall post, and Lucas has done his barrel bar, I think that would be a great one to review. You got my address, boys. You got my address. So yeah. Oh mate, Colin. Oh mate, that scoreboard is ambitious even for me. But then saying that, it sounds like we're possibly at the same level. I've done, what have I built so far? Built 2 gantries. So I built 2 of these. Not this one. This was built by Magnetic Racing. I've repaired. Oh, that was close. I've repaired the advertising board. I've repaired and painted the kamikaze. That's toilet, if you don't know English slang. That's nice build. We obviously saw the Michelin Man earlier. I'm currently on the doghouse, and then I've got a Marshall post, which apparently only takes an hour or two to build. So in regards to proper structures, Colin, this is probably the first one that I'm actually building from. Oh no, I did the bridge. Hang on. I don't know if you know about this one, Colin. I don't know how often you view, but I did their double bridge. That is proper good bit of kit. Really in detail. Love that one. And then, so this is really my first building. Hence making silly, well, they're not silly errors. You know, it is as it is. It's like not masking taping off that sign before spraying the door brown. But it just comes with experience. It just comes with learning different color palettes, the way colors work, different shades, different tones. John, you're out of here, mate. I don't know if you're still here or if I've just missed you in a minute of rambling, but lovely to have you on board, mate. And take it easy from over the pond. We'll catch you. If I don't see you soon in the week on Bits and Bobs, I might see you next Sunday on the Sunday Early Bird Sunday Sessions. Yes. Good night, mate. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. You the man. Yo, Steve. Steve's in from the Gold Coast, Australia. No worries, my mate. Thank you very much. I appreciate the comments. It really does make it worth it. Me makes it worth coming on here with horrendous hair like this. Just keep looking at it and thinking it's a work of art. You know, it might be a style for the future, you know. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm telling you, the rhyme scoreboard. Oh, should we see if we can do it? All right. Shall we see if I can get this scoreboard on the screen? Okay. Present. Here we go. I'm just having a look and seeing if I can do something with it says sharing is easiest with two monitors. All right. Well, you know, if you're all right sitting around for a second while I see if I can have a go, this will be a great help for me, guys. So I need HDMI cable. Fortunately, I've got about 900 of them around here. That one will do. Okay. HDMI, here we go. Maybe this is why I haven't been able to work it so far, because you need two monitors. Right then. Okay. Chrome tab. Window. Come on. How does this work? What is that about? Right, I'm taking it off. Travis, if you're still there, brother, we need to chat later on how this works. So we'll move on for the minute. The rhyme scoreboard, if you don't know it or haven't seen it, the easiest way to find it is to go onto Magnetic Racing's YouTube channel and go down to their latest episode, where you're going to find it, the information about why they thought of doing it, how they've done it, what it looks like, how good it is, the detail and the difference you can make to personalize it to your track, to whatever you need to do. It's really, really good. So, night, John. Take care, mate. Okay, Colin, let's have a look. What have we done? We've done the gantry. We've done the triangular billboard. Yep. Check, check. Smaller billboard. But Scratch built my own oil drip, man. Oh, interesting. I tell you what, if you wouldn't mind maybe emailing me over a few pictures of those, if you want, I'd love to see them. And if it's okay, I'd love to share them with the wider slot car community, because you don't know what you don't know. So if we've got a case of you've come in and given us a great idea, I'd love to share it. I'd love to share that. But it's up to you. If you went to my website, all the W's, trackfans.tv, there's an email address on there. Obviously, I won't be looking at it for about an hour, because after I finish this, I'm going for a coffee and a shower, and then I'll take a look. But that would be amazing. If you could share it, I'd love to share it out further. Colin, have a good one, mate. Take it easy. Aid! There he is. He's dragged his carcass out his pit, guys. He is on the line. And there you go. Yeah. Yeah, so I do Colin, why the reason I send you to my website and say get my email address from there is to stop a load of YouTube bots taking my email address out of my comments section and then adding it to their pornography hotline, which drives me wild, because I don't want to see that. I don't want to see it. I can't unsee what I see. And I'm sick of seeing things I don't want to see. So that's why I don't put my email address and my phone number in the comment section in these streams or on my regular episodes, because they are in stone. It stays up here for as long as YouTube is active, and bots go through these things for corporations to get you onto data lists, to send to unscrupulous people to send you filth, or to pass over to their city boys to ring you up to say, hey, we heard that you show interest in the stocks and shares. Do you want to spend all your life savings with me? No, I don't, mate. Go away. And if you're of an age, you'll know what I was actually saying there. So the nice thing is, Aid, well done. Welcome aboard, brother. How you doing? Started a new job on Friday. I was telling the guys on here earlier about it. It's all right. I'm back in a happy place. So we're doing a bit more of this new concept that we're doing. Sunday sessions, early bird Sunday sessions, Sunday slot car sessions. Yeah, I like that. It almost sounds like a DJ set. Pasha sessions. You know, sessions. It sounds creative. So we'll do that. Sunday slot cars, Sunday slot sessions. That might not be the right search engine friendly kit, is it? Sunday slot car sessions is what we're doing. Cheers, Aid. I appreciate that, mate. We were having a look. I'm going to share this with Aid. I mean, I know you guys have been on for a while and you've seen this, but Aid hasn't. And Aid's top man. So we've just been working on Aid. We've put the doors on. So we've got 3 doors, one here, steel one here, one on the back. We've masking taped it up around here so that we can get onto, you can see where I'm painting the sign. And then once we've got that done, there's a little bit of, you can see it here, it's a bit of glue has streaked the door down there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it look like someone's launched an old milkshake at it. And the other thing that we've got here on the, once we've done that detail, is that I'm preparing the metal framework so we can put the detail on there as well, which is pretty cool. After that, we're on to more intricate things, explaining to the guys. But just, if you've joined me later on than it was at 7 a.m. this morning when I started this, check out this. I mean, live TV, you got things. Oh, brilliant. I love it. Things falling apart live on telly. But check out the detail on some of this, Aid. We've got to build ventilation shafts. we've got menus, we've got grills for the windows. It's like, yeah, it's good. I'm really enjoying this particular one. I think the guys have done well. And, you know, that's, I talk about Ian and Doug a lot. And, you know, fair where fair's due. Other slot car providers, other slot scenics, other race. It's hard to say it because some of them have got names as SEO. So my good friends, David and Guy, sorry, I try not to burp on camera. It's so heinously disgusting. Oh, you're such a detail assassin. Yes, Aid, I will. Oh, no. I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be... It's a great idea, Aid. But because they work literally millimetre perfect, there might not be the space. So what I would potentially have to do to put hinges on this is sand this side down just to give you that small detail to allow you to open it. Not a bad shout. Not a bad shout. Not sure if I'm going that far into it, though. Yeah. I can't even remember what I was saying before this. So, who knows? I've lost my train of thought. I definitely need some coffee. Oh, I love it. Community's talking. Listen, Paul, Aid, you two don't live too far away from each other, you know. One's in Nottingham and one's in Derby. And from where I remember, it's 20 miles apart. So it's not far at all. Maybe Paul, Aid has got a 60, I think it's 16 foot. Aid, how long's your track? Said the vicar. Aid's done a build in his shed. Yeah, I do, Daz. I do. Aid's done a build in his shed that is next level. And if it's okay, Aid, on my next episode or my next live session, what I'd like to do is just to cover the little bit of the VT you sent me with I think it was the Land Rover going round it. Just to show the length, show the guys a bit of inspiration of what they can do in their garage or shed. 16 foot. I knew it. I thought it was. Cheers, fella. But yeah, and but that's the way it's done. So I had a massive tidy out. I'm not saying too much, but I had a massive tidy out in the garage, in the den last week when I was doing a little bit of gardening leave. So I've made space. My question is, I need track. I think my slot car, my Scalextric track, I think it's knackered. I need either what Aid told me to bend the connectors on the end of the Scalextric. You obviously have the metal bit that plugs into the next bit that gives you the power piece to piece. So Aid said those little grobbit bits that stick out at the end of the track, if you bend them up ways, and break my finger here, it will cause a better connection rather than being like this and being kind of intermittent. If you do this, it's going to touch each other. So, but I did it, and I literally, the thing nearly broke out. It broke out. It was like, then it was really wobbly and loose. So whether there's something that I need to do to strengthen that, I don't know. I don't know. So do I need a new track? Because let's face it, my track has been battered. For 2 years, it has been hammered in all circumstances, in all conditions. I've used it. Albert's been round and used it. Wilf has been born and come and used it since he's grown up and old enough to hold a controller. The thing has been hammered. I mean, and I bought it all relatively secondhand anyway. So God knows what its life was before I reused it, because we're big on that here. We're big. Most hobbyists are big on reusing and recycling. It's good. So, but yeah, Listen, guys, I am going to wrap it up. I'm going to go for a coffee, and I desperately need the toilet. I know it's not good to say it on screen, but I do. And you're all pals, so I know that you get this. So I'm going to say thank you ever so much for tuning in. It's probably my first real live session, so I'm going to have a little go later, not on live, on just how it works, trying to get the pictures up, the sharing the screen, things popping in. So I'm going to try and do that so that it gets a bit slicker and a bit better, and I can be a little bit more illustrative with the things that I'm trying to describe to you. It can be a bit more punchy with the presentation. Because all right, just chopping on to have a natter, but you want to see stuff. You want to get that detail in. No, Slot R, you've literally just joined. Good morning, mate. As I'm going, I'm like going, like literally now I'm saying goodbye to everyone. And so Slot R, we might be doing an early bird Sunday Slot Car sessions more often, because trying to find a space where you're not competing against a friend who's doing a YouTubing thing. You've got Marty on Tuesday, you've got Travis on loosely whenever, because he's a live one. Dave does a Friday and a Sunday, you know. And these other days I'm doing stuff tired, but I do know that I do get up early at the weekend. No one else does, so I have time. And if you wanna, I might be here. So flip on your phone when you wake up and you're waiting for the kettle to boil and see if I'm on. If I'm on, come on in. Come and join me. Next week, I'm going to bring a flask so I can chat for longer. So have a good day. Have a good week. I'll be in touch soon. Thanks for joining in. It's been emotional. It's been amazing. Take care. Have a good one. See you later, Tri fans.